Abhinav. Sanjay, director. Narendra Bharat. Sangam.
Batch by batch. ID card.
Name is not there in the list. Only if it is not there in the
Abhi, how could I do, sir? How could I do, man?
You have spoken very nice at KKHR. I have seen you as a participant. Most welcome you, sir. I'm going to sir. Nice meeting you.
See HR on the right. ಯಾರದು? ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ.
I extend a warm welcome to the HR Conclave hosted here at Nitte School of Management in association with HR Shapers, Bangalore. I am Devika Devdas and will be your host for today's event. So, I welcome the dignitaries on stage. Our beloved director, Professor Venugopal sir. The administrator of NET, Rohit Kunjan sir. Principal of NMIT College, Dr. Hetsi Nagraj sir. The Director Academics of NET, Dr. Sandeep Shastri sir. a warm and loving invite to Mr. Ashish Gake, the founder of HR Shapers. And our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Mahesh Bhatt, the CEO of Formnax Corporate Services. Please. Also, I would like to call upon Professor Raghavendra, the principal of NSAM First Grade Degree College, and Professor Rajni Itham, Associate Director of Nitte School of Architecture, Planning and Design. So, pleasure to have you all here and welcome to each one of you present. Thank you. Tradition that is inaugurating auspicious occasions with divine blessings. This ceremonial lighting symbolizes the ushering in of positive energy into our event. To begin, we invite our esteemed dignitaries to illuminate the lamp, accompanied by a prayer song performed by Mr. Omkar.
आदिमूर्ति निन्नाराधिपे आदिमूर्ति निन्नाराधिपे विघ्न विदूरा सदा वन्दिपे विघ्न विदूरा सदा वन्दिपे आदिमूर्ति निन्नाराधिपे मूषिक वाहन हे गणपति मूषिक वाहन हे गणपति शेष विभूषानि नीडैमति शेष विभूषानि नीडैमति दास जनरिगे
Today promises a wealth of insights and knowledge with eminent speakers from across India. To commence this gathering, I invite Dr. Venugopal sir, our esteemed director, the pillar of support in our college, to extend the warm welcome for the gathering.
So, good morning all of you, respected guests coming into our area, and our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, and the founder of HR Shapers, Mr. Ashish, and our trust representative and the administrator, Mr. Rohit Puja, and our academic advisor, and he is academic director and advisor, Mr. Shastri sir, and Nagra sir, who is the principal of NMIT, that is Nitte Institute of Technology, and I also invite Mr. Raghavendra, the principal of our first grade degree college, and I invite our associate director, who is heading the Nitte School of Architecture, Planning and Design as an associate director, and my respected HR professionals coming across India. We welcome from behalf of Nitte Education Trust. Just I would like to do a small briefing why we are doing this event. This was long awaiting program. We were trying for last more than a year. We would like to just showcase how this Nitte Education Trust is doing for last 40 plus years. We have around 43 institutions across Karnataka, that is Bangalore as well as Bangalore. Bangalore we have about 10 institutions, and in Bangalore we have around 30 plus institutions from KG class to the doctorate. We have medical college, dental college, engineering campuses, management colleges, all these under Nitte Education Trust. I would say I am very proud to be part of this great institution and this great trust. So this HR Conclave is to connect the HRs among the HR professionals. At the same time, we would like to connect and share the knowledge towards our institution. And our institution, here we have around 10 institutions, and here we are around 4 institutions are participating. The corporate requirement. So I feel today's day will be a most memorable day for all of us students and for our institution. This is the first time we are doing a HR Conclave. I think this will be a beginning of our journey. This is 2023, and likewise we would like to continue coming years. Looking forward for your support, and I can say, I can assure, I can guarantee all the HR fraternity, we are here only for quality. I just want to say one example. Recently, we have gone through SAP training. Our students, around 54 students, they have gone through SAP training, SAP ERP, in FICO, in HCM and SD. Out of 54, around 52 students have passed global certification. So, this is the contribution we are making for the industry. Our faculty and students were working 8:30 to evening 8:30. So here our commitment level is 100%. Likewise, our engineering campus, if you see, or if you see any other institutions, even our medical college, any colleges, we are rated at India level with good rankings. Dental is 5th rank, medical college 7th rank. Likewise, we strive for excellency. So today we got an opportunity to project our institution. We never come out normally, just we do our best and we keep expecting people to come to us. But now we thought of just inviting all of you. Just this is the world where we need to project what we are doing. Just doing wonders and sitting, nobody is aware, will not help in today's world. So for that reason, we want to connect with you all. We want to take your support, take your advice, take your guidance. Okay. In our board of study also, we have around about 40 industry senior leaders being part of our program curriculum. Every 6 months, our business school, what we do is we conduct a board of study meeting. We take input from the industry experts, and then what we do is we incorporate the syllabus and try to be upgraded as per the need of the industry. So likewise, all our institutions, we do try to give the excellency. And this Nitte Education Trust is one such education trust. I think Mr. Puja will give more details than me, because since I am an employee, he is an employer, he can't speak more about his achievements. I would like to tell from my side, since last 5 years I am working here, and I say I am the most fortunate guy, and somebody who joins also, I say they are fortunate. Reason is they try to give their best. We are never into commercials, we never look into commercials, and our institution is first institution to launch satellite with ISRO in 2010 in India. So that is the contribution of this Nitte group. Okay, so I once again thank all of you from my bottom of heart, taking your time and coming here, and we welcome all of you. Your most senior people have come here. We have kept open registrations, and yesterday evening we closed, we got about 250 registrations. Okay, out of 250 registrations, we concise 250 because we can't accommodate here. So we thought to just, whomever we invite, let us take care of them. Okay, so my dear all senior HR professionals and budding HRs who are here in this, we wholeheartedly welcome you. Try to share your knowledge, share your experience, inspire the students, see that you are contributing back to the society. Even myself, I work for the industry for 25 years. I did my doctorate in HR and best HR practices in 2008. Then I felt one day I have to give back to society. So since last 5 years I'm with this institution, great institution. So we welcome all of you once again to be part of this. Thank you once again. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir, for the gracious welcome. As a token of gratitude, I would like to give Ashir Kake sir and Mahesh Bhatt sir a gift on behalf of Nitte School of Management, appreciating their presence today in our college, sir. Once again, welcome, sir. I would now invite Mr. Rohit Punjan, sir, the esteemed administrator of NET, that is Nitte Education Trust, renowned for his expertise and leadership, to address the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais, dear friends from the industry, teachers, dear students, guests, good morning. I'm very happy to be here at the launch of the HR Conclave. I'd like to spend a few minutes talking to you about Nitte Education Trust and expand on what Dr. Venugopal just said. Nitte Education Trust was started in 1979 by Justice K. Segde when he closed his professional life and went back to Nitte. So Nitte is not an acronym. It is the name of a town, now I will say big town, north of Bangalore, somewhere between Bangalore and Udupi, about 60, 70 miles north. So when he went to his hometown, or to the hometown of his wife rather, and his wife's name is Meenakshi, this college, Nitte Meenakshi, is named after his wife. When he went there, he decided to do something for young kids. That was in 79. So he started a school. Less than 100 children in the first year in 1979. The idea was, it's close to their home, less walking, more time for playing and so on. The idea was, the belief was that education is pivotal to the community and to the people in the community. So let's do something about it. That's how the school started, that's how Nitte started. The belief about education persists with us. So bear with me for 30 seconds when I tell you or share with you an experience I had about 6 months back. I was in Bangalore for some function, and at the end of the function, a lady came up to me and introduced herself. And she said, "You don't recognize me?" I said, "No, I don't." So she said, "I used to work as an office assistant in the college. Then Nitte subsidized fully my chance to study MCom. Now I teach." So she went from somebody who brings tea, who prints papers, who moves papers from A to B. She's now teaching and impacting the lives of 100, 200 kids every year. So her life has changed, her family's life has changed, and the community around her has changed. So that's what it means to make an impact on the community. We have, broadly speaking, 3 campuses. The first campus was at Nitte, is at Nitte. The second campus moved to Mangalore, and a little later to Bangalore. In Bangalore, we have 8 institutions, 5 of them are on this campus. The largest is the engineering college, Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology. This college, NSOM, Pharmacy College, Architecture College, and Fashion College. Fashion and Interior. So there are 5 professional colleges on this campus. If you go a little to the north, you'll have a CBSE school, KG to 12, with hostels, and a lovely campus, 11-acre campus, with hostels. Next to the school, you'll have a degree college and a UC college. So totally 8 colleges, or 7 schools, 1 college. The challenge for everybody in our colleges, in our schools, from senior-most person to junior-most person, is to improve the institution. So I'll share with you a few highlights. Our dental college is number 5 in the All India ranking, National Institute of Ranking. Our pharmacy college, which is more than 25 years old in Bangalore, is 46. The Nitte University, which is relatively young, is number 65. NMIT, which is next door, is 151 to 200 in the ranking, a National Institute of Ranking Framework, in competition with all the IITs, NITs, and the like. 6 months from now, this college, NMIT and a few other colleges will be part of Nitte University, which will give us more autonomy to provide the education, the experience that we need to give to the students, that we give to the students. NMIT was the youngest college in the country to get autonomy, 6 years after it was created. The people who came to inspect, I will say, the college said, we are okay to give you autonomy. Then when it went to Delhi, they said, no, you're too young. So we'll give it to you, but after 10 years, come back again. So we went back in 10 years and it continued. The engineering college is one of the few colleges in the country to team up with DRDO to offer defense technology. So students study at the campus, scientists from DRDO come to teach, and they spend the second year in DRDO doing experiments and so on. Renewable energy started in our college more than 10 years back, because we realized the importance of renewable energy. About a year ago, the Additive Manufacturing Society of India teamed up with us to start a 3D printing lab with the latest equipment using certain type of material, and all our first year students undergo the training. All our students undergo training on 3D printing. It's interdisciplinary. They learn about it in the first year, and then they build on it in the second, third, and fourth year. Capgemini came to us and teamed up with us to teach students and teachers 5G. They say everybody is going digital, everybody wants to use 5G, but we don't have enough people who understand 5G. And product lifecycle management. Autoliv, a world manufacturer in safety bags in cars, teamed up with us to provide that technology to students and teachers. So I've given you a few examples, recent examples of how we are striving to stay on top of the curve every day. One challenge we have, one of the many challenges we have, is to prepare the student for industry. That goes beyond teaching A or B subject. We need to make the teacher, we need to make the student understand what is it like to be in the industry. So I reach out to you and ask how you can help us there. You might come and give a talk and say, this is what time management means in the industry. This is what it means to meet deadlines. This is what it means to manage multiple stakeholders. So stakeholder management as a word, as 2 words, probably not well understood by students. What is it? How do we do it? How do we manage 2 bosses, one in India, one in Europe, one in Australia? It's a challenge. So if you can talk to our students, great. If you can talk to our students, even greater, because our teachers will take it to the students. If you can take our students as interns, fantastic. And even better, take our teachers as interns. Let them shadow your A or B person for 10 days. Just shadow. Follow them around, go to the meetings, ask a few questions here and there. They will come back that much richer for how the industry works. And those experiences will make our students more productive for you the day they join your company. So in closing, I wish you a good day. Take full advantage of the networking opportunities. I'm sure people will learn from you, and I'm sure you will learn from everybody, including the students, who will, I believe, have some very difficult questions for you. So enjoy the day, good networking to you, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure all the CHROs and HRs present today will give us wonderful insights so we can prepare for our future. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Hetsi Nagraj, sir, the esteemed principal of Nitte Institute of Technology and a revered mentor to both our teachers and our students, to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you, respected members on the dais and off the dais. At the outset, on behalf of Nitte Education Trust, I welcome all of you for this conclave, and also I thank all of you for your presence in spite of your busy schedule and also weekend. You have come here, I thank all of you for that. And our administrator, Rohit Punja, has already told about trust and all. So we want that our students should know what is happening outside the four walls of classroom. Because in the classroom they study, but we want them to be aware of what is happening, the state of the art technology, which is very important, and what is happening outside the college or outside the classroom. For that, all our institutions here, totally 5 institutions here, 3 in the other campus near Signa Economy, totally 8 institutions in Bengaluru, and 43 institutions under the umbrella of Nitte Education Trust. We want that the students should be encouraged to participate in curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. So they should be able to develop their 360 degrees. Development should be there for students. That is the aim of our management. And also quality education is very important, and also knowledge, there is no limit to knowledge. Knowledge is power. So we have to improve day by day. There is no finishing line for improvement. So always we will take our students outside for industry visits. Even last week, a lot of our students in engineering department, engineering college, they have taken outside to visit industries, airport. We took our aeronautical students to airport of Bengaluru, and we have tied up with so many industries. Industries they are helping us. Even, for example, Blue Star, they are conducting their training program for their employees in our campus. They have established very good laboratory in our college. Capgemini, Blue Star, Toyota, a lot of laboratories are there, Unisys, Subex and all. So Blue Star, they conduct every month some training program for their employees in our campus. And other days they told us, you can use our facilities for the benefit of students and faculty. So this is an occasion where all of your esteemed members you are here. Our request is to support us, to guide us, to give us your value inputs for the benefit of students and faculty members of our Nitte Education Trust in Bengaluru. We are having our principal of our first grade college and also principal of our Nitte School of Architecture, Planning and Design, Nitte Institute of Technology, and all our heads of departments are there, and our deans are there, directors. So I request you to enlighten us about what things we lack. I am interested in lacking only, what do you want, so that, because if I say that I know everything, that means there is no value. So always if any industry they visit us, I used to ask them at the end of the day, please give us your valuable suggestions and feedback. So those things should be addressed by your students, so that the students should not commit the same mistakes in the next day. And our advisor, NR Shetty sir, who is there in the campus, always he says, if you do tomorrow's work today, then you are great. If you do today's work tomorrow, you waste. Always he says, tomorrow's whatever work you are planning should be done today. And whatever you are planning today should be done now only, immediately. That is what he says.
Even our President Vinay Hegde, our President of Nitte Education Trust, always he says, and always he says that help the academically weaker students. Always he says how many students have helped. That means who are not good in academics, how many students have helped. That is what they say. Because brilliant students will pass, without teacher also they will pass. They will get good score. But you are very much concerned about the students who are academically weak. Our President Vinay always he tells us. So they are very good mentors for us. So my request to you is again, today a lot of deliberations will take place, and networking, we have to improve networking, and also where we lack, how to improve, so that our students and faculty can work together with industries. Industries and academia should go hand in hand now. One going in north, others going south is not there. It is not possible at all. They should go hand in hand. Our faculty also will be trained by industry people. For L&T EduTech, we are doing the training program for our faculty members, and to train the trainer. If one faculty gets trained, he can train other students, 60 students at a time. So faculty should be trained. That is, first one is faculty should upgrade their knowledge. They should get trained from industry people, from R&D organizations. In turn, they can train the students. So with this, once again, I welcome all of you, and also I thank all of you, and also our esteemed guests, and also all the members of the audience. I thank once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I believe it is all of our goal to make academics and industry together, one hand together forever. Okay. Now calling upon, I would like to invite the Mr. Ashish Kakre, the founder of HR Shapers, a distinct individual who has organized numerous HR conclaves across India. He is highly regarded by HR professors and possesses a unique talent for inspiring even esteemed HR figures to strike the Shah Rukh Khan pose. Lastly, I present the indispensable individual without whom this event wouldn't have been possible to address our esteemed Catholics.
Good to see so many numbers coming from all over of Bengaluru. I'm sure some of you must have taken more than 2 hours in just transition, yeah. And you take more than 2 hours to go back also. Yeah. So we really appreciate your time, and lot of homework is given by each one of them, and they will give more homework right now. That what is the expectation. So I'm not going to set up any expectation, but by default, if you are in a huge city institute in any campus, we all know what we are supposed to talk. And we also know what student or any delegate is supposed to hear. Yeah, our corporate reality, we need to show them. And they also need to hear all the students. If you are there in the hall, you also please understand what the corporate reality is. At the same time, sir, industry is also going through a lot of up and down. Yeah, there are a lot of bad news also taking place. I don't want to share and scare the student, but that is the reality. So respected all the speakers, please share all those reality also. A lot of digitalization, automation is taking place. So that's also one of the news, we also need to share. Nothing homework from my side. So coming back to HR Shaper, HR Shaper is now it is 9 years old networking body, presence in each and every location of India and outside also. I almost shifted to Dubai. Yeah, that's what I updated on Facebook. So Dubai is very happening place. Almost every week one HR Shaper event is happening there. So next week there is a HR Shaper event in India. Again one event. Every week it is happening. And thanks to each one of you. And only because of that I am able to get and connected with almost 40 to 50 speakers. I reach out to 100. As I know, 50% always declined. and I am not seeing any attrition as of now. Almost couple of them, they said they are not able to make it. So though no attrition, sir, at least in today's session. We are going to have a 5 panel discussion in a different room, like Dr. Venu said. And then one CHRO roundtable and one main panel discussion here. Yeah, time is mentioned 6 o'clock. You are most welcome to be there in the campus till 6. Move around, it's big campus. But yes, those who want to go after lunch, they can leave. Yeah. thanks everyone for being there. I'm here, and then we are also going to catch up soon. Yeah, during the lunch time and tea break and all. Yeah, thank you. And thanks to Nitte School of Management and all the group institute. You know, the student really worked hard. I want to acknowledge one person only because of whom it's happening. Obviously, Dr. Venu and Bala. Bala, where are you? So Bala is a gentleman. His team was working till I think 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night, and they are working since last 2 to 3 weeks. I'm sure you are getting a lot of calls and email only because of this gentleman. And where is Sachin? Yeah, Sachin. So Sachin is the gentleman who actually initiated the conversation to be there, and we are here only because of him in this campus. Yeah, thank you, Sachin. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Because of HR Shapers connect to HRs, and because of HR Shapers, institutes like us connect to HRs. Thank you so much, sir, again. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Sandeep Shastri, the Director, Academics of NET, who served as an esteemed panelist at the prestigious G20 Summit held in our country, to address the gathering.
Distinguished guests on the dais, honorable invitees to this very, very special conclave, my colleagues at the institution, and my dear students. Let me join the administrator and the principal in thanking all our guests who have joined us this morning. And I'm sure our students and faculty would be greatly benefited, enriched, and their horizons of knowledge would expand on account of what they would hear today. I would just make 2 points. 1 point for my students and 1 piece of information for our guests who have come here. For my students, I would request you to keep in mind that as you take part in this HR conclave, we have often limited our lens of looking at HR as a group which is involved with the recruitment. But let's remember, and I'm sure our HR professionals would stand by me when I say this, our HR teams across the country are transforming lifestyles and enhancing the quality of life. So HR is not just about recruitment, it is about the life and living of people. And that's something I would want all our students to keep in mind. And those of you who plan to specialize in the HR area, remember it's not just about hiring or firing. It is about the quality of life and the happiness of living that we offer to the people. Now, the second point which I'd make and with which I'd conclude is that our effort at the Nitte institutions has been to develop in our students a skill set which would hope to make them exceptional. We believe, and we have succeeded to some extent, and we look to you for further success on that. We believe that the DNA of the skills that our students need, and that's what we focus on, is threefold. And I would use the words of DNA, D, N, and A to highlight those skills. The first, we believe, is about, by first I don't necessarily mean in the order, but I'm starting with D. The first is digital excellence in the modern world. We expect our students to have that capacity to leverage technology. But we also advise our students that, remember, in AI, what is the A? A is artificial. So remember, it is artificial intelligence which is a platform, and human intelligence is much more critical to be able to leverage that digital excellence. How do we look at N? We look at N as nurturing the emotional intelligence in people and in ourselves. That's why we say at Nitte, we make this place a psychologically safe space for everyone. Because when they are in a psychologically safe space, the emotional intelligence is something that would expand, and they would understand how that is critical for their future success. And the A in the skills which we focus on is an awareness that is 360 degree. We want each of our students not just to be experts of their field. We want each of our students just not to know their field, but then to grasp, to gauge, and to engage with the larger horizons. So friends, we look to our experts who have come here to partner with us in strengthening this DNA of our students. The digital expertise, the nurturing of emotional intelligence, and a awareness that is 360 degrees. So thank you all for being here, and I'm sure today would be a very special day for our students. And I would want each of my students to record in their diaries at the end of the day what has been the special learning for you from what you heard, what you witnessed, and what you experienced as part of the dialogue today. I wish the dialogue all success, and I know given the stature of the people who are attending the dialogue today, there will be a lot of learning, a lot of takeaways, and a depth of understanding of issues that we are all discussing today. Thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful day.
Moreover, he was honored with the Unsung Hero Chairman's Choice Award for his leadership skills in steering Terrier to achieve over INR 6 billion in revenues for the first time in 2020, as acknowledged by the Chairman of Kiosk Corp. I invite Dr. Bhatt to address our esteemed gathering.
Good morning. Distinguished guests on the stage, respected management and team of Nitte School of Management, respected principal and students, team HR shapers, ladies and gentlemen. In this era of perpetual transformation, the role of HR extends beyond policies and procedures. It involves understanding the intricate dance of human potential and organizational objectives. As technology evolves, so does our approach to manage and empowering our workforce. The infusion of artificial intelligence into HR practices heralds a new era of efficiency, objectivity, and strategic decision making. I stand before you today with great enthusiasm and anticipation to explore the transformative journey we embark upon, that is, leveraging the generative AI in the field of human resources. The synergy between technology and human resource management is not just a possibility, but a necessity in navigating the ever-evolving workplace landscape. HR comprises of 4 centers of excellence: talent acquisition, training and development, employee engagement, and HR operations. Let me start by diving deep into predictive analysis in talent acquisition. Here, AI not only sifts through CVs, but also dissects them, uncovering subtle patterns and correlations that might elude human scrutiny. It analyzes not only qualifications, but also the historical success of candidates with similar backgrounds, predicting a candidate's potential. Generative AI algorithms ensure fair and unbiased candidature evaluation, bringing unparalleled precision and efficiency to recruitment and onboarding. Machine learning algorithms ensure that our hiring decisions are not only swifter but grounded in objectivity, ushering in an era of diversity and inclusion. AI tools in HR also contribute to employee engagement and retention by detecting patterns indicating potential disengagement and dissatisfaction. Predictive analytics identify patterns related to employee satisfaction, allowing proactive measures to enhance the overall workplace experience, contributing to higher levels of productivity and retention. In training and development needs, AI extends into employee development. Personalized learning journeys guided by sophisticated algorithms enable us to prepare training initiatives based on individual needs. This dynamic approach ensures that our workforce remains agile, adaptable, and consistently equipped with skills needed to navigate the complexities of modern workplace. Moving to performance metrics, performance evaluations, often subjective, are now witnessing a transformation through AI-driven analytics. Real-time insights into employee contributions are empowering us to make informed decisions, fostering a culture of fairness and transparency. This data-driven approach is not only helping us identify strengths but also helping provide a roadmap for targeted development, aligning individual goals with organizational objectives. Now coming to HR operations. Majority of the administrative tasks are now automated. The AI chatbots and virtual assistants are a boon in engaging customers and employees. With the time-consuming HR operations like payroll processing, benefit management and leave tracking having been automated, allows HR professionals to focus on strategic and human-centric initiatives. This not only increases productivity but also nurtures a culture where employees are seen as more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. As we embrace the advantages of generative AI in HR, maintaining a balance is very crucial. The human touch remains irreplaceable in understanding complex emotions, resolving conflicts, and fostering genuine connections. AI should complement, not replace, the invaluable skills and empathy that human HR professionals bring to the table. Ethical considerations, data privacy, and the delicate balance between automation and human touch demand careful attention. It is navigating these considerations that we can truly harness the full potential of AI as a catalyst for positive change in our HR practices. In conclusion, the integration of generative AI in HR is not just a technological leap, it's a strategic imperative in how we manage our most valuable asset, that is our people. Generative AI isn't just a tool, it's a catalyst for transformation, allowing a harmonious integration of both artificial intelligence and human intuition. This cultivates efficient and data-driven, compassionate and people-centric workplace, driving organization towards unprecedented success in future of work. Thank you for joining me on this exciting exploration of possibilities. Let us start a course embracing the transformative power of AI in shaping the future of human resources. May this conclave be a beacon of inspiration, sparking conversation that echo long after its conclusion, laying foundation for a future where technology empowers and humanity remains at the heart of the endeavors. Wishing you all an enlightening and enriching experience. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much, sir. Based on the insights that you gave today, there is no doubt in all the awards that you received. Moving ahead, we would like to honor our keynote speaker and our chief guest, Dr. Mahesh Bhatt. And so, I would like to request the dignitaries to honor him with a gift and shawl. I also would like to request our HOD, Professor Balakrishna sir, to be a part of the honoring. Once again, thank you and welcome, sir. Welcome to college. Now, for the most awaited event, the main reason we have all gathered here, let us move ahead with the panel discussion. So, I request all the panelists to please proceed towards your designated panels, and our coordinators will be there to guide you.
With HR Shapers Bengaluru. This conclave represents a unique and invaluable opportunity for us to come together as a community, share insights and engage in meaningful conversations that will undoubtedly shape the future of human resources. The distinguished speakers at this event will bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table. Their insights are sure to spark engaging conversations and inspire us to think differently about the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. We are privileged to have leaders who not only steer the course of our organization but also inspire and set the standard for excellence. Without further ado, let me introduce the distinguished members of the main panel whose collective expertise promises an enriching and thought-provoking discussion. Introducing Mr. Ashish Ghakre, an accomplishment professional with a rich background in human resource and a distinguished career spanning several decades. In 1995, he graduated from Symbiosis Law School, Pune, specializing in Master of Labour Law and Labour Welfare, HR and Personal Management. Building on this foundation, he furthered his academic pursuits and obtained an MBA degree in Human Resource Development in 1997. Mr. Ghakre embarked on his professional journey in 1999 as Executive HR at Grid Consultants, followed by a stint as Executive HR at Gracers. His expertise in recruitment consultancy led him to become a recruitment consultant at MaxSearch and later assumed the role of HR manager at Zycus Infotech Private Limited. Progressing in his career, he served as a senior HR manager at Loop Mobile India. Not only Mr. Ghakre has excelled in the corporate roles, but he has also been a dedicated contributor to the HR community. From 2012 to 2013, he actively served on the board of HR Infotech Association, demonstrating his commitment to philanthropy and advancement of HR practices. He founded MTHR Global, a philanthropic HR association. In 2014, Mr. Ghakre took a significant step by founding HR Shapers, a 9-year-old non-profit leading HR association with a global footprint. It has a presence in 5 regions, 25 countries and 50 locations, including a strong presence in 20 cities across India. This association became a pivotal force in shaping HR practices worldwide. Today, we are privileged to welcome Mr. Ashish Ghakre, a visionary leader and trailblazer in the field of human resources. Welcome, Ashish, sir. Next, introducing Ms. Sandhya George, a distinguished professional in the field of human resources. Ms. George completed her postgraduate studies in the Human Resource Management with PGDBA from Mount Carmel Institute of Management in 2002. With a strong foundation in HR, she began her career journey in 2002 as an assistant manager in Human Resource Division at TCS, where she honored her skills and expertise. She then progressed to serve as a talent and development manager at Sangha, contributing to the growth and development of the workforce. Her career path future led her to a role in people transformation in Essilor, showcasing her commitment to fostering positive organization change. Currently, she holds the esteemed position of Head of Talent Management and Engagement at Essilor Luxottica, India, where she continues to drive initiatives that enhance talent development and engagement within the organization. Notably, in 2023, Ms. Sandhya George earned the Horgan Assessment Certification, further enriching her expertise in the field. She is not only accomplished in her professional endeavors, but also demonstrates her commitment to continuous learning and improvement. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Sandhya George to our panel. Introducing Ms. Pallavi Pennikar. It is with great pleasure that we introduce Ms. Pallavi Pennikar, a professional with a rich and diverse background in human resource. Ms. Pennikar has been a part of corporate world since 2002, when she began her journey as a management trainee at Cipla Limited. Since then, she held various roles in different organizations, showcasing her versatility in managing human resource and dynamic environments. Ms. Pallavi has served as an HR executive at Cadbury India Limited, HR manager at Godrej Consumers Product Limited, and senior manager of human capital at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Her journey in the corporate world reached new heights when she took on the role of national talent lead at Deloitte, where her strategic contribution significantly impacted talent management initiatives. Currently, she holds the esteemed position of talent director at Deloitte, bringing her wealth of experience to learning talent initiatives for the past 3 years. In addition to her professional accomplishments, Ms. Pednickel has pursued continuous learning, completing a certification course from the Nitte School of Business at Dartmouth on strategy in innovation. Her skills encompass a wide range of competencies including employee engagement, talent management, performance management, and recruiting. We welcome Pallavi ma'am. We are pleased to introduce Mr. Vivek Gupta, an accomplished professional who brings with him a wealth of experience in various leadership roles. Mr. Gupta is a certified executive and leadership coach with a proven track record of fostering organizational excellence. He began his academic journey with a BCom degree in accounts, business studies and economics in 1997, which laid the foundation of his multifaceted career. Mr. Gupta's professional journey began as an associate technical executive at Microland Limited, and he quickly progressed through various roles that demonstrated his expertise and dedication. He has served as a manager of education services at Talisman Corporation, training manager at both Code Contact Center and Vanguard Business Process Private Limited, and held significant position as a team manager and operations program manager at Microsoft GTSC. His career trajectory continued to ascend as he assumed the role of regional manager of L&D at Rentable Initial, where he contributed to learning and development strategies for 7 years. Currently, he holds the esteemed position of Director of Talent Strategy and Business Excellence at Western Corporation, where his leadership and strategic acumen play a vital role. In addition to his professional commitments, Mr. Gupta generously dedicates his time as a volunteer coach in the Coaches for You community, which further emphasizes his commitment to the personal and professional development beyond his immediate professional circles. We extend a warm welcome to you, Mr. Vivek Gupta. To all the delegates and participants, thank you for being here. Your presence adds immense value to this conclave. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you. May this HR conclave be a source of inspiration, learning, and growth for you all. Thank you.
Hello. So one thing is sure, if I want to prepare my CV, I will outsource to Yeah, I'm not sure whether each one of us given any outline, the way she is, and then communicated, this is what the achievement, I feel really proud. Okay, thank you so much. Whosoever has worked along with you, it's really good work. Oh yeah. So thanks to LinkedIn. Great. So thanks Vivek, Pallavi and Sandhya being a part of the panel discussion. Stanley couldn't join because of the medical emergency today morning. Okay, and thanks for being there. This is the main panel discussion. Okay, let's not call main, otherwise you'll feel biased. It's a panel discussion. There are other panel discussion also happening in 5 different rooms. And then after this, then we'll have, not CHR roundtable, only roundtable with the principal, and then we'll share the thoughts on, what the industry about me. Okay, so topic for this panel discussion, does anyone knows what we are going to talk? Or only speaker knows? Okay, let me read. Yeah, okay, fine. I know that. Yeah. So digital transformation, we are all in this race. Okay, and what we are going to talk about, whether company, organization is ready versus talent readiness. In an outline, in a brief, I can say, most of the time company is not ready when it comes to automation, digitalization and technology. Sometimes people also not ready. Yeah. So like company may do many other things. You can implement high level technology and let's say automation, but you still use Excel. And I keep saying, in organization, if you don't know anything else, right, left, or not using any app and all, but you should know only Excel. Work is done. Or PPT. But anyway, ChatGPT is taking over this nowadays. Yeah. Okay. So I want each panel member to just say few what is the opening remark. I will go to audience. I will do in a reverse way. Sorry for this. Yeah. Sorry, we are not going to do a scripted panel discussion, but we'll come to that. Huh? So just opening remark. What you want to think about the topic? Yeah. Anybody? Okay. We have diversity in the panel, so please. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you first of all, Ashish and Nitte, for giving us this opportunity to express our thoughts. And thank you, audience. I hope there is a takeaway at the end of it. Okay. So digital transformation. Before we get on to the how of digital transformation, I think the first most important question is why digital transformation. We all, the people who are sitting on the panel, many of you would come with at least 2 decades or 1.5 decades of an experience. We all started a career in the era where there were militancy in unions and when the BPO industry was just mushrooming and all that. So why suddenly this digital transformation kind of came in? So interestingly, the average age of a person in the world is 30 years old. Average age of a person in India is 28. Okay, he has never seen a postal stamp. He has he or she had current span which is there of attention is shrinking. So the lowest span of attention is of a goldfish, which is 9 seconds. Interestingly, in this digital world, the attention span is for humans is gone to 8 seconds. So that's where we are progressing. Most of the decisions are made on, so let's say buying decisions. About 93% of buying decisions are currently influenced by social media. Interestingly, most of the marriages, I think 1 out of 3 marriages are because of online interventions. So you name it and it's kind of impacting everywhere. So whether we need the whole digital transformation is not the question, but how well can we do the digital transformation is the question. And then I think the journey starts in terms of how and what exactly one needs to look at. It could be the cloud computing, the AI, the chatbot, the IoT, and then I think the sky is the limit. So I hope I answered.
First of all, thanks to Ashish, HR Shapers and Nitte for getting all of us over here. So the topic is really interesting, right? Digital transformation, industry, academia. My only opening thought over here is digital transformation, I don't think is just about technology. It's more about the human aspect of how to integrate the technology, right? Because you may have the best innovations in the world, but if you don't have the most talented people to use that innovation, it's of no use. And likewise, we may have the best minds, but if they are not able to adapt to the technology, then that's again of no use, right? So I think it's more about organizations should think about who do I really need to invest in, who can create the technology for us going forward and make this happen. And like Pallavi, rightly mentioned, it is the need of the hour because digital transformation is, we cannot escape it, right? It's there in our daily lives. And from an organization perspective also, I think it gives those organizations a lot of competitive advantage. Those who are investing in all of these things, they are able to integrate technology and the talent together to then really create those sustainable practices for the future. So I'll just stop with that and pass it on to Sandhya.
Thank you, Vivek, and thank you, Ashish, of course, for inviting me for the forum. See, from my perspective, I think from my organizational perspective also, I would have to say that digital transformation is actually, it's being adopted quite late in the day for my company as a whole, primarily because of various reasons of the merger, etc. But I really feel that digital transformation is not possible unless there's a business imperative. Everything else comes later. Business imperative, that is what will drive the need for digital transformation. That is the one that will ensure that there's a mindset change. That is the one that will also make it imperative for us to get our talent ready and thereby take it forward in terms of implementing it down the ranks. I don't come from IT industry, though I worked in that. Ours is a manufacturing company at the core, right, at the end of the day. But we are adopting digital transformation in a big way, and it has actually become a very major imperative for us. And maybe during the course of the discussion I can give examples with respect to that. But I think, like I said, unless there's a business imperative. For example, many of us, I've heard a lot of people speaking about artificial intelligence. Unless you have a policy in your company with respect to AI, I don't think it makes sense to implement it. So it is all new and shiny. Yes, we need to consider the pros and cons before we deliver on it or implement it in our company. But unless there's a business imperative, it doesn't make sense to implement it. So I'll leave it at that and then take questions later.
Great. So thank you so much for your opening remark. So two things coming. One is AI, second is whether talent is ready or not. It's right time to do you said, okay, why to do and then when to do is also important. It reminds me of one example of which car that Tata came up. Right. I don't know whether that was the right time or not. Or maybe the mindset where people thought, okay, do you think I'm so poor that I need to afford Tata, I can buy something else also which is more than 5 to 10 lakhs cost of it, right? So I don't know, it's different people, different mindset. Likewise in the organization we have so many different mindset for whom we are going to do the digital transformation, whether they are going to really use it or not. I have seen many companies, SAP being introduced, but how many use it? Yeah? And SAP is such a large platform where it takes many years to even replace. Not only SAP but many other applications. Okay, let me go to audience and pick up some questions. Yeah? There are a lot of HR leaders, CHRO, HR head, VP HR, President HR, CEOs, Director in their own capacity. And many influencers also in this room. I want them to give us a very challenging question, please. Yes.
I'm Shilpa.
Yeah.
So being a talent acquisition, okay, so we majorly deal with recruitment, right? If any digitalization comes across, is there any impact on the recruitment side, like will the job opportunity will be less? Because the major things, if in a team we require 5 people, might be it's only 2 requirements there because everything will be digitalized. So
Okay,
is there any
great.
impact on that?
I got your question. So a lot of TA heads, they must be wondering, they will be doing at this moment a lot of digital transformation. Okay, not only to reduce the team headcount, but to reduce the bandwidth and efficiency, increase the efficiency. Okay, anyone else? So good question. So panelists, just make a note of it. Yeah.
This Vijay Nakot, CHR of the lunch part of that. Say, when it comes to digitalization and AI and rest of things which are happening around us, right? So, sometimes I feel, are we overdoing it, right? And the imperative of integrations, right? So multiple digital products in one particular company, right? The complexity we create for ourselves in terms of integrating it and kind of giving the right experience to the employees or the candidates, right? Sometimes it's quite obvious that we are overdoing it, right? So how do you conceive the thought in terms of what is your inputs there?
Overdoing, that's great. Whether we are doing or not, that is the question first. But yeah, I will take overdoing. Yes. Anybody else? It's okay, you can ask some funny question, weird question, that's fine.
Actually, it's automated.
Yes. Please, anyone else?
Some questions from the left side. My left side.
Yes.
I'm a little
here. I'm from the Defense Commander Arun. So my thing is a little. It's a little peculiar. Like AI has been introduced quite recently to defense. So what we realized was that AI without AI is actually a threat. Which means artificial intelligence without actual intelligence is actually a threat to what we're doing. So digital transformation, in a way, if you don't have control over it, you don't get the desired result. Since it's a recruitment and a talent acquisition arena, a lot of people who are talented get rejected because of systems like ATS. So you don't get the right pick when you look at digitized selection of what do you say, talent. Just what?
Okay, great. That's a question very different coming from defense. Yeah, and it reminds me of the war which is going on. If you really talk to the team who's actually working both the side, yeah, how much technology they are using, nothing is happening in person. It's a different thing I'm talking about. They are using the technology to win the war. And if anybody is going to win the war, it is only because of the technology they will win the war. It's a reality. Yeah, the way they are tracking, the way they want to take weapon, the way they want to identify it, many things happening. People don't need to be in the ground today. They need to be in the machine room and take care of all the control. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
I'm new to audience here. My name is Ranjini, working as a lecturer at Bengaluru. Most of you are working in the talent acquisition, and the challenges what we are facing nowadays is most of them who are hired for positions.
Can you be a little closer to the mic?
Thing is, we all know about PAN number, UN number, like a centralized contact numbers for the process of UN PAN numbers, whatever it is. Don't we have this kind of a scanner or whatever it is? Once we scan it, contain all details about the employment, previous employment. We rely on the details provided by the employee, including pay slips, everything. But whatever, including one scanner, shows the entire detail. That will really help for the processing. We talked about the digitalization, AI transformation. Today's challenges for all the talent acquisition people, I think they will address this.
So good question. One question coming, overdoing, this is over expectation. I take your question. Don't misunderstand me. Yeah, thanks. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hi Ashish, my name is Krishna. I'm into Stellantis automotive chain. So my question is like this, we are talking about digital transformation. How can we enable more opportunities for the fresh talent? Okay, using this digital transformation, gone are those days where you have to stand in the queue, send in person to the reception, the CV, and then you have to go. Recently I've seen a video as well and WhatsApp which is going around, I think people of Hyderabad perhaps. There was almost a massacre there. So many people have turned out for maybe a couple of jobs. So how do we need to really create more opportunities for this fresh talent? Okay, using this digital transformation. Let it be AI, non-AI, or actual intelligence, as Sir said. That was a good one, sir. What do you think of that?
Okay. Yeah, so this is also a great question. We'll take last question now. Yes. That side.
Good morning to all. I'm from L&D team, an NMIT from engineering background. So we wanted to know, as per applicant tracking system, so we get a score when we scrutinize the resumes. So what is the cutoff score during mass recruiting? What is the cutoff score based on which the resumes are shortlisted? And how much % do you expect the keywords in the resumes as per the job description should match so that the candidate gets a chance to appear for interview or he is shortlisted? So from the recruitment point of view, I want you guys to give us inputs because we take care of the training part and resume reviews, all those things. Thank you.
Great. So this great question, very optimistic. You want things to be like that so that more people can be shortlisted. But that's good query. Okay, great. So, lot of different questions coming. Yeah, Sandhya, Pallavi, and Vivek, and we come back to the scripted panel discussion question, and it is coming to the same. How do we align objective of individual, which is talent or employee? Like lot of you raised the same point, right? And the second one is how do we align the organization objective also? Is there any gap in between in this? Yeah, like assessment is done. Can we get another mic here? Okay. Oh, fine. We can take that mic also from the audience. We'll come back to the audience later now. So yeah, or if you want to pick up any specific question, but be specific within the time period of, because of the time, I will take more question. You heard some question. Okay, coming back to the same question, how do we align the business objective and the talent objective to ensure that the digital transformation should be successful?
Okay, so I think I'd like to give it with an example. Okay, first and foremost, how many of you have heard about SLR as a company? Okay, how many of you have heard of Luxottica? Okay, it's just 1/4 I can say. You must have heard about Ray-Ban? Yes. You have heard about Crizal? Yeah. So SLR Luxottica is together is 150 years old. SLR is a lenses company, whereas Luxottica is a frames company. Now, for whatever reasons, it decided to merge in 2018 and therefore became SLR Luxottica. We were waiting for permissions, etc. And 2020 is when it was decided. Where European Commission gave us the approvals, etc. So that's how it happened. COVID struck. We were in a catch-22 situation because we are primarily manufacturing facilities and we have to deliver to the customer, right? One of the key things was how do we merge both the companies? We're talking about 150,000 employees globally. One of the things the board had to do was to deliver to our employees, and the fact that yes, we are working for our employees, and a large part of our employees are shareholders. So the key thing was, one of the first steps we took was to integrate our learning management system. The SLR side had a learning LMS which was up for renewal. The Luxottica side had an inbuilt learning management system through Moodle, and they decided, okay, let's do it. What was the reason behind that? The reason why we decided to integrate and adapt or adopt a new one was primarily because of a business imperative. The business imperative was not that we wanted to show it to our employees, that yes, we are integrating. It was primarily because that same learning management system is used in many countries for teaching our eye care practitioners the fact that about a product, right? It is very important because only then they can sell it to our customers, the people who go to the optical store. It is very important for us because only then will our products be sold and only then the company will gain revenue, obviously. So therefore, we had to adapt and adopt to this. In a matter of 6 months, we had to look at the entire team of finance, IT, HR, the business teams to come together to transfer the learning content from one system to the other, ensure that they're adapted. Finance had to give the go-aheads in terms of financials. The HR team had to be involved in terms of ensuring that the content was in line with the requirements of the new system. IT had to get involved. Please note, we didn't have an integrated employee system. Okay, so we had to ensure that the employee data from one system gets transferred to the other, and therefore all the teams came together because it is a business imperative to adapt and to get into a new learning management system which will thereby impact our revenues. And therefore, in our first yearly financial results, this was showcased as one of the items. So again, I come back to my first point, that unless there is a business imperative, I think one of you had asked a question with respect to that also. Unless there is a business imperative, it does not make sense to go into an artificial intelligence unless it is required. It doesn't make sense at all. Digital transformation just for the sake of it will not help. And of course, you also have an issue of your talent. Is your talent ready to adapt to that new technology? And maybe we can discuss at that point, but I'll hand over to the other panelists to take it forward from here.
So thanks, Sandhya, for sharing this interesting example. What I feel is digital transformation currently is more like an enabler. Because we talk a lot about future of work, and it's almost like crystal ball gazing that what exactly is there in future of work. I feel there are few components like the work in itself, which changing, which is dynamic. The workforce, we spoke about the workforce and their preferences and how patient they are over a period, and the place there they work from. So these are the three main elements of future of work. The way the world is changing, I think digital transformation will only enable us to kind of sail through this whole whirlwind, because we really don't know what it is, and it's every challenge we kind of face it, or sometimes we're able to preempt it and go further. Okay. Saying so, I heard something. I think you asked a question about will there be a recruitment function would be completely, will move. I think interestingly, what happens in talent acquisition is a lot of time goes in operational activities, right? Sourcing and calling and the preliminary screening and all that. That part will be typically done with the help of AI. I will go one step further, and I would say maybe metaverse a few years from hence. And this will not happen automatically, because this obviously calls for a lot of change in mindset and all these. But we should see the other side, where we get more mind space to work on strategic activities. Because many a time talent acquisition team is overburdened with operational work, and often one of the key asks from them is have competitor intelligence, and they really don't have time, and then they'll come up with last three things which they've heard from the last interview. So get meet your competitor intelligence, get enough strategic things. They could be inorganic acquisitions or any such things which will be which I feel will be the more important thing. Also, interesting part about digital transformation is that what skill one needs. One needs to have a digital mindset, and I think one can move on. But going further, one skill which will be rare is the basic human skill, which is a skill of intuition, which is a skill of creativity, which is a skill of preempting something. I think all of us, the whole, I think the opportunity for all of us, I will not call it as a challenge, is how do we kind of unleash that skill amongst our people and our skill, and use digital transformation as an opportunity to grow, because it definitely has opportunity for business to increase efficiency, for businesses to probably take it to a different scale, hyperscaler technology. I'm sure you all would have heard about it. So it can really scale up things. Any change is difficult, and currently I think we are in that cocoon where we're trying to break the cocoon. The whole movement from larva to the whole butterfly. So we are kind of breaking that cocoon and moving. So it is difficult. It is not easy, and there will be challenges, like the challenge which you mentioned, that artificial intelligence, because it is not of that probably caliber that we can actually take it. But the way changes are happening, maybe 4 years down the line, yes, why not? We can definitely, look at this, or we can even have rovers doing the basic preliminary screening in a metaverse world. I think it's always said that imagination is the only limit. What we used to see in sci-fi movies probably 10 years, 15 years back is reality many a times. So if you're able to imagine, I think you're able to do it. And I think it's a completely different world, and I feel we are quite lucky to experience the previous era as well as the current era of going through the whole change, plus the next further what will come in. So quite, I would say that I'm quite curious about the future in digital transformation.
Thanks, Pallavi. I think I'll address a few questions, combine them together. Now, I'm sure okay, let me ask a question. How many of you have heard of creative disruption or know what it is? Yeah, okay. So, creative disruption. Look, when industrialization happened, the fear was that machines are going to take away the jobs and people will be out of jobs. But then industrialization, I think, created even more jobs, right? Likewise, every time a new technology comes in, automation comes in, the fear is that it will take away jobs. But at the same time, it also creates a whole lot of new jobs, and that is creative disruption, right? Now, with the whole automation, digitalization, all of these terms that we keep hearing, I think from a future perspective, and I think some of you, mentioned about this when we were talking, from an organizational perspective, I think organizations want to invest in people who have a very curious mindset, which, Pallavi just spoke about, because by 2030, 2/3 of the hard skills that are existing today will no longer exist, right? So we obviously, from an organization perspective, we need people who are curious, who are problem solvers, who have that creative thinking mindset, who will be able to create the technologies and the skills for the future. And that's where the whole adaptability comes in. So obviously for the students who are listening, these are some of the soft skills that will be very important and relevant for not just you, but even for organizations. So as long as they're able to work on all of these aspects and adapt to technologies, I think that's what's going to be helpful and meaningful. Now talking about meaningful, will technology take away jobs? Yes and no. But at the same time, like Pallavi mentioned, it is going to make the jobs even more meaningful, right? So from a TA perspective, rather than focusing on the transactional aspect of things, you have if that is taken care of by automation or technology, you have now the opportunity to have more meaningful conversations with candidates, rather than trying to do it like a check in the box and then putting up candidates, and that's where the real value for the organization is.
Thanks. Are you using AI at this moment? How many of you using AI? 25%, or slow rate will be 100. So if you are not using AI is using you right now. They are using you right now. Your phone is not on, don't worry. You are being tracked, where are you? It is being recorded. That data is not with you. No copyright with you. Yeah, it reminds me of Alexa and Siri. So Alexa, Siri, how many of you having Alexa, Siri? Again, I can repeat this example. You talk to Alexa, Siri, right? Alexa, Siri respond. All conversation being recorded. Even if you are not talking to Alexa, Siri, that conversation also being recorded. And that data is not with you. So some of the scary things also happening. So one need to be aware. And in the medical field, how much technology is being used? If you go to doctor, if you go to big hospital, most of the thing is just using the technology. And who's working on those? Maybe one of us who belong to the same company. And that's where we want our talent to be there. We want our talent to be there. Yeah. To ensure that we need to have an ecosystem ready for this, and we need to have a even fresh talent who's coming from the graduate and university and the schools. We are talking about the hiring, recruitment. Maybe I think at the junior level, 3 to 5 year experience, CV is being shortlisted or interview process is happening 90% through the technology. There are a lot of TA leaders here. Please disagree with me for this. Please raise your hand and say, I disagree. 75 to 90% recruitment process is happening only through the technology. If you disagree, please share your views. 1. Anybody else? 2. So 50%, can you say 50%? Okay, you like to share your views? Okay.
So, I think it also depends on kind of hiring that we do, right? If you're doing even, so let's say if you're doing a
college hiring, then maybe at a mass level, then it makes sense. But company like us, I come from ShareChat, even a software developer, they go through 8 rounds of interviews, and none of them happens through technology. Because we want to get someone who can also have a value match, cultural fit, and also understand the problem statements that we are. So maybe in the volume environment is something what you are saying happens, but when it's a niche hiring, product hiring, I don't think everything has happened to technology, because those people that come in are responsible for the development of the product and the company, and not just building services and stuff like that. So yeah.
Great, thanks, Sarah. We'll come to let's hear from her also what she like to say. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sonia Uppul. I don't come from the HR background, but we create AI. So we create the talent solution for the talent acquisition teams, where you can actually scan through the CVs and sift the CVs and give the ranking. Right? But we have definitely seen a drastic change to when we launched in 2019 to now. The acceptance is there, the awareness is there, but we still do not, the initiatives are there, the business imperatives are there, but we do not see the adaptation to the technology as yet. Maybe at the top leadership, and yes it is, but at the underlying layer, the fear is still there that it will take away the jobs. So the biasness to adaptation is there within the team. So that's been our observations. I'm happy to know that the teams are using technologies, but it's very difficult to actually, from the other end, to sell technology to the corporates.
So it's a business issue.
Imperative.
It's mainly for the startup. And I was talking about the chat GPT. All of you, including panel member, I want to ask the question: are you happy if you are getting HR policy through chat GPT? Okay, raise your hand. You are happy with chat GPT if you get the policy, ready policy or PPT. Raise your hand. Okay, hardly few. Okay, hardly few. So see, we HR people, we are talking about digital transformation. We are not ready to take the content from the technology. Forget the chat GPT as a word. I'm not happy. Like obviously each one of you are also saying I'm not happy to take the policy from ChatGPT or PPT. Most of the startup founder, they are not wasting their time to prepare a PPT. It's ChatGPT who's preparing a PPT for them. Believe me, if anybody knows the PPT preparation through ChatGPT and some of the tools, it is just matter of 10 minutes. Give some pointer, your 10 slides PPT is ready. I'm just giving a small example. The way many things happening in a business, in a other world, where if client is asking for something, it's being done in a just matter of time. And that's not the HR, that's the business people, talent people, software people, sales, marketing and all. You like to say something?
No, I just wanted to respond to what you're saying. I use ChatGPT, but for doing research on a specific topic or anything like that. But when you mentioned about the adaptability of AI, I think everybody wants to use it, and I think everybody thinks that a lot of things will get done if we start using AI. My only thing over here, the restraint that I think many people have is that they don't know what and all it can do, what to expect from it. Maybe 4-5 years down the line, I think, like what Pallavi said, it's something which is really futuristic. It is something that we really want to look at, but maybe not at this stage.
ChatGPT has definitely done a wider
Yes.
in the mindset.
Yes.
But at an underlying layer, I see there's still a challenge because the fear, it comes along with the fear of losing their jobs.
Yes. And I don't know whether people know what and all it can do, and therefore
So when we
they
also
are
showcase our product, it's difficult to even make them understand what to expect.
So, madam, you answer your question. Issue is something else. It is not the technology issue. It is the mindset of the people issue. It's a leadership.
Yes.
Okay, so I come back to the question to a panel member. Whom to train first? Whom to train first for the adoption of the technology, to introduce the technology, identify the technology, assess the technology, leadership, people, or the talent, or HR team, or IT team, or finance. They don't release the budget even. Most of the HR people are here.
our decision for the technology is being taken by the IT guy or the finance guy. Correct? HR guy is not deciding which HRMS I want to take. Somebody else is deciding. Huh? You just bring the vendor, rest of the thing is done by somebody else. It's a reality, guys.
We can't even influence.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
So I don't know whether it's a question of subject matter expertise or we are not able to put our word properly. But once we go back to the company, things are different what we discuss here. Sir, you would like to say something?
I'll share my perspective. It's a very interesting question. I'll share my perspective on this. I think it always has to start at the top. Because unless there is the buy-in in terms of what is it that I want to accomplish through technology, it's going to be of no use. Because once you have that buy-in, then automatically all of your other functions like HR, IT, finance, procurement, everything will fall in place. Right? Because the top leadership has to exactly know what is it that I'm trying to achieve. Of course they know that. But then how am I going to use technology to achieve that? And then for the fear of people, how am I going to repurpose the skills of my people if there is something that the technology is going to take away? I think that clarity has to be in the minds, and then from there it comes down. And in my organization, and I'll share a very interesting process that we do. So we do a technology roadmap every year, right? So all of the engineering functions are involved in creating the technology roadmap. And one problem that we saw until about a couple of years back is that the engineering functions are involved in creating the technology roadmap, but then the support functions are not involved in that whole process, right? And then suddenly there's a bomb that is thrown on HR that we need X, X 100 people with X number of skills to be hired within 3 months. IT, we need you to go and procure, these technologies. Procurement, you need to support IT in getting all of these things. Finance, you need to create the budget. And when this process was happening, the budget for the year is already finalized 2 or 3 months back. So now what we're trying to do is we are now trying to we've integrated this whole process where every function has a seat at the table to clearly understand what is the vision of the organization from a technological and a technical standpoint, where is the organization headed, what skills do we need, and HR has a say in whether we are able to provide those skills at the right time or not, and if not, then what is our backup plan, right? Finance gives a buy-in at that point to say that yes, I have the budget, or I can repurpose the budget to meet these skills. And then likewise for IT and procurement, and we brought in procurement in this picture because you can't, if you are expected to run at, drive your car at 100 miles per hour and you have a flat tire but needed changing 6 months back, then it's of no use, right? So procurement has to come into the picture so that they are able to, bypass all of their processes and make sure that procurement happens at the right time. So I think it has to start at the top, and then at the bottom, yes, it has to be a parallel process.
So I agree with Vivek. It all starts, the tone at the top is extremely essential, and then that kind of trickles down. I know some organizations have started carving out their vision for technology jointly with CTO and the CIO together. There are organizations which are saying that these are my goals for FY 2024, which will focus on, let's say, not only the ones which are upgrading the current systems, which is just one part of it, but also looking at more greener pastures, that what can we do together. And then obviously finance kind of falls in place because it's again the top of the tool. But that's the interesting change, that if we have to embrace this technology, the name of the game is that we all have to work together. It can't be silos, that I'm a part of HR, or I'm a part of finance, or I'm a part of IT. Because this future is not only faced by HR, although we are the ones who talk about it the most, but IT, finance, and all of them will be a part of this future. So this is something which we need to do, work together.
Into the process, right? And everybody needs to be informed about it. So ours is not the change is not as fast as in the IT space, right? So if we need to do a digital transformation, it takes at least 6 to 8 months. Because if we want to digitize or put in a digital transformation for, say, a manufacturing line, we are talking about blue-collar workers here, right? So we have to be really careful about how we go about it. So starting from, things like what are the skill requirements for the new setup? How are we going to repurpose or retrain these people? Everybody in the process have to be involved. Otherwise, it will not work. We might have to take some hard decisions also in the process, right? So their finance has to be involved, IT has to be involved, HR has to be involved, of course, and therefore the leadership team, because it's going to have multiple repercussions. The other piece is, of course, from an HR standpoint, one of the key things we will need to look at is the performance and evaluation criteria, for example. Because again, if a person is moving from X line to Y line, and his bonus is going to get affected, right? So how are we going to, how is that going to get impacted? So the performance and evaluation criteria, huge change. The third thing I would say is the mindset change. I think everybody has said that. Unless the mindset changes for everybody in the process, it's going to be a failure. And the last one, I think from a talent standpoint, I think purely it will be that as a talent individual, I will need to be connected with more talent pools, which is outside my traditional pool, talent pool, right? So I was just thinking, nobody has heard about the eye care industry, the training with respect to that. And we recently got to know, 2 weeks back in fact, that IIT provides one such course from which we can tap the pool. So considering the digital transformation is happening, what is the new talent set that we require, and therefore where are the new talent pools? So everybody in the process has to be involved, otherwise we will never get there.
So Sandhya, I want to pick up one point. This is about the performance management. Everyone have a automated performance management? PMS?
Ashish, before we get there, I think it's a thought while I'm speaking to you, listening to you guys speak. I think we as a community have not even embraced digital transformation in its entirety. I think I'm fairly low. The perspective comes from the fact that as an organization, what we typically tend to do is we tend to automate certain sets of activities, and we call that digital transformation. Okay? Leave apart generative AI, which is the next course of evolution. And being a prompt engineer myself, because I've been doing prompt engineering for a considerable amount of time, and we're working with the Institute of Sciences for doing a paper on that. Typically, what happens with the digital transformation part of it is, my feel is that the systems tends to fail because of the reason that we are executing something even before we are thinking about the base level of activity which is starting. Because we are trying to superimpose technology, and that is nice of course, that we are trying to superimpose digital transformation before that. So systems tend to fall out because of the reason there's no money. I'm not sure. That's
no, I agree with you completely on this, sir, because unless the management and all stakeholders involved are very clear that a digital transformation, how it will impact the talent and therefore impact the company in the long run, unless that is clear, it is going to fail. You have to have everybody in sync.
So assessment has to be done properly.
I just... Okay. So, interesting question, or thought, I must say. Although these are all like parts of the puzzle, but the leadership needs to be clear that what is the picture that they are envisaging. Second, I think another intangible thing which is essential when we are getting this whole digitalization and artificial intelligence is the culture. What are your shared values? What exactly you want to convey? Is that kind of going through? So I'll just give you an example. One of our shared values is care, and we have launched a chatbot. Now this chatbot is something to respond to queries of people, and we thought that in our version 2.0, how can we introduce care as an element to this? So what we said is we're focusing on well-being. So every day after, let's say, by midday, it will ask you a prompt saying that, have you actually stood from your place and kind of stretched yourself? maybe evening it will even ask you a prompt saying that, have you had a glass of water? Some basics, but because hybrid working is the name of the game, and many times you work from office as well as home, and when you're working from home, the work hours are pretty erratic, which starts early in the morning, late in the evening, preferences are different. So coming from a consulting industry, obviously there's a lot of flexibility in the way you work, and many a times even people feel alone while working, and they miss those water cooler chats and all of these. So we've introduced an element, have you spoken to somebody, very, very basic thing. But again, this is just one example. It is again a long way to go, but ensuring that your culture also kind of gets ingrained in all these offerings is essential.
So, okay, you can start, sir, then I will come.
All right, thanks. I think very interesting conversation. I could hold myself not to speak. The question, if I'm a student, I think the question that I should be asking is ChatGPT replace my work, right? Is the new work going to come through? And a lot of questions that I've seen that is in that direction. The point is that it is not for replacement, it is for enabling. For example, at Flipkart, in the earlier stage, we used to go 5 steps to get a experience letter. Okay, step 1, click on this part, step 2, go to the tab, step 3, put in your request, all that. Right now, open your chatbot, tell the chatbot, I want my experience letter, and it is there in 3 seconds. I don't need to go anywhere, a soft copy or PDF version of that is immediately sent. So I think the way we should look at it is that how can we use and leverage any AI for the purpose of enablement, not as a replacement. So I think folks who are going to graduate, who are going to move into the industry, one of the thoughts that you should keep in mind is that this is going to take time. And we are far away from decision point. ChatGPT is not going to, or any other AI tool is not going to give us decision point. It is, for example, Grammarly. If you use one of those Grammarly while you write, it gives you suggestion. You are the person as human, we have to pick it up in terms of what do we really want to do, right? So just thought of adding it as an enabler rather than replacement. So please don't be worried that jobs are going to go away or what's going to happen.
I would definitely second that thought, because today most organizations, they want to do more with less, right? So it's not about firing, but even if there's a hiring freeze, I don't want to hire more people, but then your competitive advantage comes from the fact that how can I make sure that my workforce is more productive, and that's where I think automation and digitalization can come and enable or help them, because your mundane tasks, if I'm able to do that in a much shorter span of time, that's where I keep emphasizing on creativity, creative thinking, problem solving, and I think this is a key. I think this is a key phase that we are in, wherein because of automation and digitalization, if I'm able to get rid of these critical tasks in a much shorter span of time, I can now free up people to start thinking about the future. Because most of us, we tend to operate in the quadrant 1, the firefighting, and we're always trying to put out fires without trying to think and sit and think about what do I need to do next, what do I need to do for the future. So very well said. Thank you for sharing that.
So I come back to what I was supposed to share, and Pallavi raised the important point about the culture, which is directly related to leadership also. And then you are talking about performance management. So most of the company having a automated performance management in the last stage, right? There is a dilemma when you go to obviously you tell everybody to complete the appraisal cycle through the system, right? No intervention, you just send the reminder, even reminder can be sent through the system, prepare a note properly and keep it ready. When it comes to the discussion point, so business expecting that everything should be done automated, and we are doing that, right? But when it comes to the final conversation and all, you know what this question is? There is no human touch. Business manager said there is no human touch. Most of us even getting a increment letter or promotion letter through email. how much conversation is taking place. So somewhere, sir, you're right, and that's also coming, how much we can actually, decide what is not through the technology.
That's the overdoing part that I think somebody was
Yeah, correct. Overdoing, then over expectation, and all this, the basic job and all this. So like even ChatGPT, you are not looking for a policy through ChatGPT. So you as a HR community, you are not ready. Why we should blame, the HR executive or somebody else? Because you are not talented, you are not capable to prepare a policy. Data is already there in the market. At least you are getting 90% data, then you go through and then correct it. No? Nobody is creating a policy in a different way, the way you are looking for, right? Correct. Okay, we'll take closing remark. I will like to share, 21 HR jobs of the future. Has anybody heard? 21 HR jobs of the future. I will tell you a very funny designation coming across, and this is the reality. The funny designation will be the reality, and we all need to be ready as HR. Okay, we'll have closing remark from each one of you. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just have a question before closing remarks. That's it.
Yes.
So I agree with all the points, and it was really insightful. But then we spoke about AI, we spoke about digital transformation, we spoke how it's going to be enabling the team and the business and all of it. But I also feel, in my opinion, I also feel that human minds are very smart. So when you say you're using AI for your sourcing, we also know how to revise the CV based on the JD that we are applying for. Exactly. So there are a lot of loopholes that come along with the transformation. There are a lot of disadvantages that is there in the digital transformation as well. So I would want to know, what do you think are the disadvantages? Have we given a thought about it? And also how to deal with those disadvantages so that we can also make the maximum utilization of the digital transformation?
What are the disadvantages?
Like I said, one of it is revising the resume. So when you say you're using AI for the sourcing, so let's say example, I'm applying for a 5G requirement, I will talk a lot about it in the CV. So until unless the initial sourcing happens through the technology you're talking about, which the old school, I would say, we would talk to the person, we would try to understand whether they're actually telling the truth, whether they're able to explain about the project they've worked on and things like that, which doesn't happen probably in the future.
So can I say the problem lies here?
Yes.
Somebody who's ready with a technology-oriented innovation, talented guy who can beat the system, right? That's what you are saying. Somebody who's beating the system, and we are not ready to have them. But we want in the organization those kind of talent when it comes to the client problem and business problem, correct? But then there is a guy who's sitting in front of you, beating the system and talking to you, okay, this can happen like this, or I have done it because you identified. But we are not ready to hire them. But then we want innovation happen in the organization, then who will do it? The guy is already sitting in front of you. ChatGPT, you say, prepare a job description in ChatGPT, it will come properly. Most of you may be doing or your team member. So if you do it, then there is an innovative candidate who is sitting saying, okay, prepare my CV based on this job description. So there are so many other things also happening. We want talented, we want innovative candidate also. Maybe, and there are the people who are being trained how to beat the system. And I think we also need those kind of candidates. Okay, you like to do the closing remark maybe based on the question? I am okay with that.
That question, I think technology, while technology, will come in the, will filter out and will.
Okay, we'll take this question also and then cover up the closing remark. Yes, sir.
I'm Sanjeev. So I have my own company, Innovation Lab, and I'm from embedded background. Currently, I'm consulting for Google from 1.5 years. I'm working on a Pixel mobile phones, the next generation, what AI should use and all. The real challenge what the technology companies face is the right candidate. Like most of guys you already addressed. The moment like you cross like all HR discussions, everything, when it comes to the technical discussion, the candidate will not be having those talents. Like AI will give us the words, okay, which will we'll get all the things, but end of the day you should know and in depth what he has done. And like AI you can use it, but when it comes to technical complexity, the way we will develop the things and all there, AI may not be that much useful. That we need to again still develop as per my knowledge, because if you just many embedded companies, they have tried doing in ChatGPT, if you do, then it will explain us, saying that this complexity things it can't be done, you should go back and you should do. That is where AI is not a thing to do.
Okay.
And we should know that if you use AI for talent also, you should have on the other side, you should also have a way to scrutinize, because if you take Zuhu, okay, he has mentioned that we are not hiring talent based on your marks and all. We are hiring based on the knowledge. So there is a lot of gap between the person who is having the knowledge and the person who is having the marks. Okay. So if you come for the technology people, they don't. Yeah, it should come from us. Okay.
So, sir, can you summarize the question quickly?
It is
please?
it is like AI can be used, but on the other side, we need to also understand at what level we need to use.
Yeah, that discussion is almost partially taken care, Okay, closing remark from each one of you. Vivek, Sandhya, Pallavi.
So my closing remark is that I think technology and humans, they have to go hand in hand. And then to address your question that you asked, every lock has a key, and if the key is broken, a key can be made, right? And then with years, we see that the locks are also getting smarter. So the same question that you asked, right? While technology is enabling or filtering out those candidates, at the same time, technology is also helping or enabling the talent acquisition teams to have more meaningful discussions, right? Have you heard about this latest trend, which is also coming up, which is conversational interviews through AI? So AI poses your question, the candidate has to respond, and AI is actually judging whether he is the right fit from the organization, not from a technical standpoint, but from a behavioral, values, culture standpoint, and so on, right? So it is going hand in hand, and I think we need to be able to make that distinction on how much of AI do I want to leverage, and where do I come into the picture to add that value. Technology can do to a certain extent, but I think after that, humans have to take over. Yeah, and that would be my closing remark.
So considering digital transformation is here to stay, I would say that I would like to share some skills which are essential to sail through this. Building digital mindset is something which is on the topmost priority, which is basically being open, flexible, understanding the technology, because many a times we, considering that we don't have this continuous learning approach, we often do a very superficial check of the technology. Let's say we are not, because HR professionals probably may not be from a typical tech background, So investing that time is essential, and building that mindset, digital mindset is very, very much essential. And I think leverage the whole digital transformation to create your mind space. When I say mind space, we need to sit and kind of identify how much of our time generally goes into the operational things, and how much of our time is actually on the whole I would say not exactly strategy, but thinking arena. So creating more and more mind space for a thinking arena will again help us to understand, because you know your organization quite well, you know your people quite well. So it will only help you to understand that how can you customize it. Again, if you're able to customize it for your organization, it can be a game changer. It can really, take you really high. So these are a couple of thoughts that I had, and since Ashish spoke about designations, there's one designation that I would like to say is for all the HR leaders here that HR head is not the end game for us. I think having that board presence, having that say in seat at the table, and being the CEO of the organization, I think is become one of our opportunities for us. So I think I'm sure when we meet sometime we'll have many Leena Nayars, considering that's the current name that comes to my mind from this group also. And I think preparing ourselves as a HR professional from that point of view, or wearing that thinking hat, is extremely essential. And digital transformation will just enable us to kind of achieve that aim. Thank you.
So I think Vivek and Pallavi have really spoken about all my points that I wanted to talk about. But I think I just want to reiterate over here, digital transformation just for the sake of digital transformation is not going to work. See what is most applicable for your company. See what is most applicable to your talent, and then go for it. I think the second point I would just like to reiterate here is that from the students who are there in the audience, it's a long career ahead of you, and I think we are at least in the bracket of 40 to 50, I think, most of us. We have already experienced a large number of roles. We have seen the time when we were doing everything manually to the time right now where we're talking about ChatGPT and AI. So challenge yourself. I think that's what the most important thing will be, because there are new technologies coming and there'll be new challenges coming forth. So be ready to change, because I think that's the one that will take you forward. I think I'd like to end with that.
Yeah, thanks. So, I like to share the designation part. Like you said, technology, a lot of new technology coming, leverage the technology. It's very simple. If you can't beat somebody, you can join. Yeah. So which means you need to reskill, upskill, cross-skill. So this is the report which came even during COVID of Cognizant, Some of you must have read it, may not remember now. So they have published, 21 HR jobs of the future. These are the mix of technology oriented and human. Now read some of them, I'm just covering till 2024. They mention head of business behavior. Then second coach, gig economy manager, which is already happening nowadays. We have a dedicated person looking into gig. Human machine teaming manager. Then Unilife coordinator. I don't know what is the meaning of this. Some of you may be knowing, like Raju is saying. Then work from home facilitator. That's also there in our team nowadays. HR data detective. We need to Google what is the meaning of this. Okay. Algorithm bias auditor. So we only need to also have a person who can actually find out, what is the meaning of algorithm and whether it's doing any bias or not. Chatbot and human facilitator. It's very interesting. Human bias officer. Workplace environment architecture, chief climate response leader. This is more to do with CSR. Then I'm covering the designation which is beyond 2025, director of well-being. This is already accelerated and we already have so many people in the team. Employee enablement coach, chief purpose officer, direct. Okay, this is very interesting. Distraction prevention coach. This HR will be responsible. I don't know how. If somebody is distracted, how do I prevent? And why HR? Okay, and then human network analyst, and then there is a VR immersion coordinator. Yeah. Genetic diversity officer. Yeah, they must have used technology also. My closing remark in two sentences. One is, can technology, this mix of technology and human, we are in dilemma. Can technology understand three set of people when it comes to the hiring, when it comes to the performance or any kind of interaction? Differently able person, somebody who's coming for interview, the pregnant lady, and the third one is LGBT. Because technology can't see. And that's why we are using the technology nowadays. They can't see, but can technology really understand this three set of people and then decide what is the next step has to be done? I'm sure a human can do. If look at this three set of people, then can decide how to deal actually. Yeah? My last statement, we need to make more human out of human. Yeah? Like somebody is saying overdoing and over expectation, but use the technology at the best. Like you have seen the Digi Yatra at the Bengaluru airport, all of you are happy using that. But when it comes to the implementation of its own in your organization for you, we don't want to do this. Okay, so thank you so much for being lovely audience. Thank you Vivek, Pallavi and Sandhya. And delegate will be here in this room, right? And then we'll have HR leader going to another room, correct? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you Sandhya ma'am, Ashish sir, Pallavi ma'am and Vivek sir. The insights you gave to all of us was very fruitful and inspiring. As we proceed, I would like to introduce panelist Vishwanand Raju sir, Indian Institute of Management, Bengaluru. He started his career as assistant manager of R&D of BPL Limited. Currently, he holds the esteemed position as a head of talent acquisition operations at ANSR. He is also a guest faculty for IIM and IIT. A warm welcome to you, sir.
So 12:30, right? You can say good afternoon. How many of you are hearing generative AI for the first time? Very good. So it's not wrong, okay? We have not heard so many things in our lives, so don't worry about it. But how many of you have heard about ChatGPT? Now those guys who not raised the hand earlier, how did you raise the hand when you said that you didn't hear about generative AI but then you heard about ChatGPT? What is the mother and what is the daughter? How many of you know? Is ChatGPT part of generative AI? So how did you know about ChatGPT but not about generative AI? Okay, thank you. I see a crowd which has 15, 16 years of experience and also some students. So what I'll do is I'll ensure that I go to the basics so that you also understand. Right? How many of you are aware of Industrial Revolution? Industry 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you just see how HR has evolved? What is the fourth stage of HR? What does it say? Use HR, use AI to do HR, right? Does it say that? Why? You are functional people, right? HR guys are functional people. Marketing, HR, finance. You are functional people. What is the use of AI in that? We can do this session two types. One is conversational, not conversational AI by the way, and monologue. Which one you want to prefer? You said it all. So why HAIR? In some way or the other, am I saying that you should also start embracing technology to do your job? Right? That's exactly what I'm saying. So this is a beautiful house which is constructed for HR, right? So do you see AI and automation? So there are verticals and there are horizontals. Why is it there are verticals and there are horizontals? If any of you want this presentation, I'll share that with you. I wanted you to be with me. So why is TA a vertical and automation horizontal? Any idea?
So whatever you have mentioned, the talent acquisition, business partnering, reward and learning, organization development, there the human intervention is needed. Without that, AI can't do everything I think that is where you have mentioned like that.
So is it branding? Then
Yeah,
are you saying that branding?
No, but most like there also you can do it from the AI, the help of AI. But talent acquisition, when it comes, when you want to do business partnering, there you need a must. But there you need like you can use AI to do your work faster.
Okay. Anyone else? That's a good answer. Thank you.
The AI actually cuts across all verticals.
What's your name, sir?
Nothing.
Next time we should do this.
I was just about to say the same thing.
So what happens is, one is technology, data and all that. One is the actual work that you do. So what I'm trying to say in this slide is that you will continue to do talent acquisition, but then you will start using AI to do talent acquisition. One of the best example of using AI in talent acquisition, I will talk about it later, but then I want to hear from you. Have you heard video interviewing? Right? How does it happen?
Again, it has a show disadvantage.
We're not talking about it. Okay, by the way, I will complete the session, but I will not answer this question. Is AI biased? I'm only looking at positive picture because I know that one day in life we'll solve the problem. I'm not trying to solve this problem now. Right? Okay. So, video interviewing. How can we do this? Can we do? Tools only, ma'am. What are the tools? MS Team is a product. Tell me the product or technology in the product. Have you heard this terminology called computer vision? Any of you? That's the one that. Okay? So, we are living in a world where 8 companies are doing what I am trying to say, and I am telling you by the end of the small story of 2 minutes, you will feel that, oh my god, it's now right. Okay? You can actually record the JD, hiring manager can record the JD, will transcribe, and then hiring candidate will be asked questions based on the JD, right? Automatically. Candidate responses are recorded automatically. Candidate responses are triggering back to the library of responses which should be applicable, and they are telling you whether you should talk to this guy, yes or no. All of this is happening in the background. Now we can still talk about bias, right? That's a story for the next year. That's the power of it. HR intelligence, I said it as vertical, horizontal. Why? We talk about tools, I understand. It applies to intelligence also, I said horizontal. You have to apply intelligence across, right? There's no rocket science in that. Okay. So now digital HR, how does it look like? You see, culture of continuous process improvement. What does it mean? If yesterday you were hiring people in 30 days, what could be your manager's next response next year?
Turnaround time
Should be less. How much?
60 to 70%.
You are very, very. So, how many of you are interact with your CFOs when you get into the next level of planning? Okay. So, you know what they do? They say that last year you had 100 people. I'm talking about talent acquisition example. With 100 crore budget, which is not the case, you will have to have 130 people, which is 30% more, with a budget of 70 lakhs. It is 30%. That is the problem statement. So, for doing that, what you need to do? You will go back to the line items. What are those line items where I am investing but I am not getting any support? Right? All of that. Okay, so a lot of people think talent acquisition just putting some CVs here and then somebody else comes in. No, you see the massive thing that you guys do, right? So only thing that I mentioned in green is a slightly different value proposition. Why? All of that is okay, but then one is green. experience bit. Why? You come across a recruiter of your team who says that, sir, I have completed my job in 30 days, the guy has joined us. And when you go back to the guy, he says that, I had a worst experience of your recruiter. Right? Has he done the job on time? He has done the job on time, but is the experience better? So that is very important. For experience also there is AI. The reason why we are going slightly backside is to go forward, right? Analytics. Can we solve an analytics problem of demographics? So your CHRO says that last year we had 30% gender diversity. I want you to make it to 40% this year. What will be your reaction? You will say no? What if 3 years back it was 10, 20, 30 and now it is 40? It is still doable, right? But then you have to do something totally different, right? So we can do, so what I'm also saying is HR also needs to have the lens of data. So what's changing? How many of you know about this algorithm called deep learning? Have you heard this reinforced learning? What does it mean? Any of you? By the way, technology and management, there is no right or wrong answer. It's a response. Anyone?
It's a version of machine learning.
Yeah, it is, but then next level.
Completely detail-oriented about.
You are closer. Sir, Karthik sir. Huh?
Just to try to be a replicate of human.
So, I'll give you an example. This happened 4 years back. We were hiring a technology architect, and obviously AI was doing its job. So we had 10 people who applied to the role. AI shortlisted 6, and we looked at one profile out of the 4 which looked better than the 6, but AI rejected it. Right? And what is AI, by the way? You only fed it. AI is not a different animal. But then when we moved that candidate from a rejected bucket to the shortlisted bucket, a prompt came. Boss, you taught me this 4 things. None of these qualifications are in this guy. What made you to shortlist this? Then we had to iterate the 5th one. Boss, this is the reason why I have shortlisted this. Then it will learn that additional this thing. And obviously, so futuristically, any resume which comes like that, it will understand. And one day, this 5th one becomes the 5 top things that it does. Deep learning. Right? So this is all that's happening. Gamification, anyone have done anything in your companies? Why is gamification required? Does gamification give you a lot of collaboration?
What does that mean? Sorry.
Gamification.
Yes.
Okay. You have 2 choices. Choice A, where you have 100 people joining in an organization. You want to put somebody like me who will take through the entire one day. How many leagues are there? What is global performance management? All that. Don't do this and all that. And there is another option of ask them to play a game through which they will learn everything that they should be learning as part of onboarding. Now that is game. So bringing the game element into the work and increasing the efficiency of the work is nothing but a skill. So a lot of companies, in fact, one of the NASCOM surveys said 74% of the companies have already started investing in game, which means something is there, right? So
Role enhancement?
yeah. So data gathering to data protection. So if you say that I know that we are at a run rate of 10 people per month, we will hit 120, nobody likes that insight. If you say that we are at the 3rd month of the year, we made 30 offers, our target is 240, I think we need to do something now, we only left with 9 months. This is what we should be doing, predicting it and prescribing it. Why do you go to a doctor? What does doctor do? how will he prescribe the medicine? He or she, sorry. Same. So at some point, all the roles are same actually. Considering you have data, right? So a lot of people have misconception. I wanted to talk about it. Digitalization, digital transformation. Any of you can give me an example of digitalization?
About everything, what we are doing with the QR codes and
That is all of most of digital transformation, sir. Digitalization के बारे में.
Digitalization, you say for example the manual work converted into a automated one.
So somebody comes and signs the attendance every day versus somebody swipes this and then automatically this comes. Now that's first part of digitalization. Now what is digitalization? That attendance management system works with your payroll management system, which is integrated, and it will tell you how much you should be paid. Well, now what is digital transformation?
You don't come to office if you
That is true for you, for not all of us. But then digital transformation is, this guy is taking leaves on every Thursday. And we see that his mobile coordinates are in this particular place. Right? As a manager, if you get an alert saying that something you need to do, it is talking to his mobile signal, it is talking, I'm using a science fiction example, but then that's what it is, digital transformation. Your Aadhaar is a great example of digital transformation, right? That is connected to UPI connected to bank, everything. So these are the metrics. I don't want to spend too much time. So these are the four aspects of analytics, right? So why are we talking about analytics before getting to AI? Is because all the AI is based out of analytics. So if somebody says that India has won 10 matches in a row, is it descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, or prescriptive? By the way, it happened also. Right? What is it? You said India has won all 10 matches. Descriptive. What could be diagnostic of this? That is prescriptive. Or predictive. Diagnostic can be with the track record of what we have done over a period. Hopefully India will win the final. Now predictive is 4 bowlers and 2 batsmen are the only people who are playing well. Unless and until this 4 more people do some contribution, it is not possible. Prescribing is taking 2 people out and putting 2 more people and then making the ball win. That's how it is. Right? So that's the power of data. You have this data, you can use it for diagnostic, descriptive, predictive or prescriptive. But in all, prescriptions may not successfully give you the results. So what does it mean? So have you heard about design thinking? So design thinking, we talk about fail fast. So that analogy of yours was not correct. But then don't look at it like you have done a mistake, you have learned something, right? Okay, so that's Bangalore, artificial intelligence, that is inner ring road, that is outer ring road, right? So machine learning. So AI, you said that, right? It's a part of AI. Machine learning, robotics, computer vision, neural networks, analytics, deep learning, NLP, and cognitive, and several others constitute what is called as AI. Okay, let's take an example. How many of you heard about chatbots? Okay, what does chatbot do?
Then we'll have a
response. How many of you are using Swiggy? Zomato? 99% of the time that you are interacting with the chatbot and not the human being, right? So what it does? So it has a library of all the responses that it should respond. It somehow knows your personality. what is your age group, what kind of things you like and all that, and what was your historical data and all that. Based on that, it will pick up the question, it will look at the library and respond. That technology we can use it in sourcing. How can we use in sourcing? There are hundreds and thousands of resumes in the internet. Can we put a keyword and screen only those people who are considered for that? That can be done by that. Robotics, we spoke about it. Computer vision. How many of you know that? How many of you are HR managers here? So there might be a possibility that the person whom you have hired versus person who completed the interview may not be the same. There might be a possibility. What could be the reason? Human beings are more smarter than machines. What could be the reason?
Human beings know how to cheat.
And they cheat. Right? That is where the computer vision algorithm can help. So computer vision algorithm, what it does is, it will look at the distance from which the noise is coming. And any noise which is coming beyond the distance, okay, and any other things such as anomaly, it will alert you. There might be, none of the AIs can actually tell you what is happening. They can only say that there might be. And it is your recruiter's responsibility to see what it is. Right? Neural networks, interview process, deep learning. How many of you applied opportunities across the world? I'm sure many of us, right? Look at two scenarios. Scenario A. Once you get into the applicant tracking system of the company, it will ask you to fill 150 details, and then it will say, now that you filled it, can you apply to the roles which are available? That's A. B. Now that you filled the application, these are the 4 roles that you might be suitable. What's happening? How is it able to understand your profile and job descriptions? It understands all the jobs, it understands the application, it understands the deep learning algorithm it is recommending. NLP, Natural Language Processing. 2008, there was a, in a Bay Area, there was a advert saying that we are looking at coding Avengers. Coding Avengers, that's all the advert was. You will be surprised to hear that not even a single woman applicant applied to the role. Some words are considered to be not gender neutral. Right? You have to be very careful in saying what you are saying. You can be actually put to the court also. That when NLP algorithm can help you to create a gender neutral, job descriptions. All this is happening not that it is a research material by the way, right? So there are tons and companies who are already using it and they are also learning. And cognitive computing. I'll give you an example of cognitive computing that we have done last year. So when we are doing the next year annual operating plan, the algorithm said that out of the 10 products and services that you are using, these are the 4 products did not have a value for the money that you have put. Do you want to reconsider to look at something else? That is cognitive computing. Right? Now we understand what's happening in the HR area.
We already do AI.
Huh?
We already using AI.
Very good. So this is an interesting one. This is a patent that I created. Tell me what level you are at. Honestly. This is a slide which silences many of us. Level 1, how many? Level 2? Level 3? There's an opportunity for you to go on to level 7. Level 7, a science fiction movie, you tell the computer what you want, you have a guy standing in front of you. And it is happening. It is happening. 8 companies, I can't mention the name of this company, already in that algorithm, they built that algorithm. Now I will not answer that question whether it is biased or not. It's a different story altogether. 8 companies just sell what they want. They have 8 or 10 people who qualify all the things. In fact, they have 4 qualified than what you want. And the data also says how many are affordable for you, how many are not affordable for you. How many pick the calls, how many don't pick the calls. All of that is there. You have to pick the 3 people and connect them and do the process, because you have to anyway do the process. And by the way, if you do the process, you will see that they are the same people. They can continue the interview, they will also do all of that stuff. And that's the power of AI today. And now we are only in AI. Now there is a concept called generative AI. This is the next level of AI. Right? First of all, we are understanding this itself is wrong, and then we are like going on, something else coming. Right? I'm not scaring any of you, right? So blockchain. How many of you know that you give your mobile number, I will tell you which college you studied, I will tell you which, what are your search history of your this thing, and most importantly, which companies you worked in. There are some companies who are using that technology to understand whether you are the right person to be spoken with. Right? So there are so many. So blockchain can also be used to do background verification. Blockchain also can be used to do inter-payments, like you can hire somebody from Italy and you can still push them to Indian rupees kind of thing to do the work. So we can do that. I'll explain. Blockchain will come back again. So gamification, right? Sir, you spoke about. We can use in talent acquisition. We can make the generic assessments that we do generally as gamified assessment. We can do in business partnering. We can use Gallup service and all that. We can do that. HR operations. The learning and development. Can we understand the personality of the person using gamification and tell him what he or she should be learning? Right? And total rewards. There is an interesting experiment we have done. We've sent a game to all the people, asking them what kind of rewards they would like to. Obviously this is pre-fed. And based on the data, they played the game, and finally we came across with 7 benefits that people wanted to, and those are the 7 benefits that we installed. That's the power of gamification. And gamification roots are basically nothing but AI. Metaverse. How many of you want to live in a virtual world? So I know this is only your only person who was saying that, but 3 years later everyone will raise a hand, right? So who would not want to see what is happening in UAE and all that stuff, sitting here, right? I can do this session sitting in my home, right? I'm sure many of you saw the Jeans movie. So look at it. So this artificial intelligence is 50, 60 years back. We're talking about now, right? So there are enough and more use cases. Generative AI. Anyone who wants to understand generative AI, look at the building blocks. First thing we should understand is what is large language models. Then neural networks, various networks, generative AI, this thing in terms of networks, transformers, NLP. These are the building blocks of generative AI. And what are the use cases? You just ask ChatGPT that I am looking for a core Java developer. I am telling you the job description that will come. If very good, if you can recommend to 10 other people, right? Should be very careful. So this is the this thing. So can you scan this QR code, please? It will tell you what is the level of GI you are using in your current company. You can use any of the phone pay, Paytm, QR code. Even students you can fill. No problem. with an intent of, if you don't know something, you can still fill it minus and not just fill just because of it, right? Done? Those who have already filled, how many times you filled 5? 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. So just try to fill it as soon as you can. So should we consider generative AI as a threat for all of us? Yes? No? Super. That up to some extent is good enough for us for life. Don't worry.
Recently, after Elon Musk said something about
He says so many things about so many things. Right? So I'll give you that. So what is the use of a learning if that doesn't get into implementation? I'll give you a very simple use case for it. Right? How many of you have used ChatGPT till now? Okay. So how many of you are HR? You are HR, right? So ask ChatGPT that I am hiring full stack developer. What should be that I should be considering in terms of interview process? It will talk about 4 or 5 things. See whether it is there as part of your JD or not. That's the first level of research. So now you go into interview process. If you feed the interview process and ask them to recommend whether this interview process is really good, or if you want to recommend something, it will recommend you 2-3 other processes which will make the student or candidate feel that you are a future company. Third, you can ask ChatGPT to say, I wanted to run a survey. Can you build a survey for me? It will do that. Hiring manager and candidate are 2 different people that we always have to be very, very happy, right? So ask ChatGPT to say that, okay, I wanted to have great candidate experience. What should I do at job description level what should I do at interview 1 level, what should I do at interview 2 level, what should I do after interview. It will give you some things. 90% of the times you are already doing those. You continue those and inherit the 10%. And you will see that your candidate experience is better. Same with hiring manager. So you put a problem statement. So how many of you have heard about this terminology called prompt engineering? Right? So Google, what did it teach? It says, boss, I have all the answers, but do you have the right question? So please ask the right. You can refine. And it is one machine who will not get tired, by the way. I have asked same question in a different way. It gave me a different answer. So don't worry, make those experimentation. And a lot of people students are now using it to create a great resume. What should the resume contain? Resume contain the same thing, but what are those interesting, actionable words, verbs that I should be using to make my resume better? It is giving you that. Okay, but don't change the name and then just copy everything, right? So you have to do that. So that's the power of Gen AI. I am told that 1 o'clock is the lunch time. So I'll be more than happy to kind of take any questions. My name is slightly popular in the HR world, so you can find me. My name is Vishwanath Raju. There's only one person by name DH Raju, so you will be able to. You can send a note to me. I'll be more than happy to answer. If anyone are interested in building this further model to get to patenting, I'm happy to kind of go with it. Thank you.
From this entire HR Conclave specifically for the gift. So few of them got a gift and few of them yet to get a gift. It is ready with the reception. So after this particular session, we arrange the lunch for everyone. Kindly take the lunch. And while coming back to the ground floor, so kindly collect your most lovable gift from our end, which is sponsored by MS Leathers. I think we have Sufyan here. Mr. Sufyan. Sufyan is not here. So we would like to thank for Mr. Sufyan. And also thank for entire Nitte Education Trust members, trustee members, different college, principals, delegates and the students, and mainly for my PGDM students. So I am representing for PGDM block. We have 40 plus institutions throughout the Karnataka. I am Professor Balakrishna from Nitte School of Management. So the people, wherever you see I wore the white color t-shirt, these people are second year PGDM students. People, those are wearing a blue color t-shirt, these are first year PGDM students. These are volunteers for PGDM students. Those are wearing normal dresses, they belong to MC department. Those wearing a college uniform belongs to MB department. And people, those went for architecture block, as per architecture, planning, designing, they have a different kind of color of dresses. How Ashish was wearing different color of dress code. Yeah. So the few people went for Dr. NSAM FGC, that is First Degree College campus. It is a little bit far from this particular campus. So I want to thank for all the principals and the trustee members again and everyone. Thank you. And now we have few questions from our PGDM students. Yeah. So we have first person. So we have first person Miss Priyanka from third semester PGDM. As I said, so white color t-shirts all indicates about third semester or second year PGDM. Yeah. Over to Priyanka.
I'm from HR and marketing. I would like to know, you spoke a lot about how education is being used, and you gave an example where a potential candidate was rejected because this was fed to the AI. How is all of this going to impact us? Like, even we are applying for jobs right now, and our resumes are being screened, and we are also getting rejected. So I would like to know about that. And also one more question I would like to ask.
Let's do this.
Yes, sir.
So there's a concept called as multiple instruction disorder. So if you ask me multiple questions at once, I will not be able to register. so I'll answer the first question. And I'll talk about the story. You can sit down. I think she should get that award or whatever. It's a good question. So 3 weeks back, I got 2 applications for HR intern role. Okay? One is application, LinkedIn application. One application talked about, hello Vishwanath sir, how are you doing? All that socialization. I'm looking for an internship opportunity with you. I would want you to consider me. Thank you very much. Yours sincerely, over. Okay? Very good message. Humanitarian ground we should at least consider. There's another message. Very interesting. Hi Vishwanath sir, how are you doing? I've been doing deep research about your company. Apparently you are working on some of the gamification algorithms and all that. I've done my internship with a company where I created a small game-based version. I'll be more than happy to come and meet you, and it will be great working with you. I will learn a lot. So there is something called as pointed communication. Now what if everyone is pointed communication? Everyone is pointed communication. What happens? Like you, everyone is doing that. So how will we shortlist? There is Gen AI on top of it says that this is genuine, this is not good. This guy is saying he has done internship but his LinkedIn profile doesn't talk about it. Don't even consider. Right? So it's important to be true to yourself, whatever you say. Right? When I was in another session, I spoke about this very interesting. All of you will actually fall off chair when I say the students at least. 87% of the companies who participated in that survey for top tech companies said that we do not want to hire, or they said that for us hiring can be from anywhere. We're not talking about XLRA, NMIMS and all that. So you guys are in the level playing ground now. All of you, all of the MBA, PGDM students across India are at the same time. So what does it mean to you? There's a good news and bad news part of it, right? Good news part of it is you have an equal opportunity to do what you can do. What is the disgrace part of it? Competition is there, but that's okay. So you're competing with somebody, for example, if you read, I'm sure you should also have this competitive way of looking at it, right? Not that I'm a great fan of IIM or XLRA. Look at student of that college. I'm telling you, even a below average student will say that he has done 3 internships. And you yourself will see you have not done 1 internship. Maybe. Point number 1. He or she would have displayed learnings of that internships. You have a plain resume. He or she would have talked about an article that he or she has presented in that particular community that you are not doing. So the level playing ground gives you an opportunity to play along with them, but then if you have to play along with them, you have to play like them or better than them. Right? So we have stopped hiring from IITs and NITs and all that stuff, right? From engineering, even management. So there is a problem statement which is put on. Anyone who can crack that problem statement, that person will be called for interview. Right? So that's what is happening today. And thanks to Google, and I say Google as a company, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, I don't know what, there will be a time when certifications and HR degrees, all of that will actually not make any sense. They are saying, if you can code this, if you can do this, I don't care what degree you have. It doesn't mean that you should not study. What I'm saying is, those education qualifications and all will become enablers for the work that you are doing should come from your knowledge. Right? So I was also explaining one thing to that other session. So look at it, right? So when you complete your graduation, MBA, what should be your age? 24? So there are 2 applications that I get, both 24 years age. One guy says that I have 2 years experience. One guy says that I am a fresher. How is it possible? Academic, both of them are from NMIT or Nitte. He or she has done internships, has gathered a lot of knowledge. Right? So he told that look at meaningful internships where you can learn. If some internship says that, hey, we are so and so, we are looking at data migration, we wanted somebody to just do the data thing, don't pick up that. There are a lot of opportunities through Internshala, who is a great fan of mine. I have seen that a lot of people are actually getting good benefit of it. People can only attend 2 hours of work. 2 hours is nothing for your entire curriculum, I'm telling you, but the learning that you will get is great. How many of you have mentors? Industry mentors? If you don't have, I think you should have one. Huh? Okay, good. Maybe I've seen this side. Okay, thank you. So, any other questions?
We have Tridosh.
From 3rd sem PGDM.
So my question is, how can finance students best prepare for the technological and digital transformation brought in by AI?
This is a question that you've taken from ChatGPT. Okay. So I'll answer this in an anecdote. Okay. Future of management professional, okay, lies in the way technology is adopted to solve the management problem. Okay, clear? You understood? Did you answer? Did you get the answer?
Technology is adapted to solve management problem.
So you are in finance management. What will be your role?
Managing accounting.
That is a 0 level, sir. You should look at business finance and all those classic corporate finance. When you do business finance, corporate finance and all that, there's a lot of data that you have to visualize, you have to analyze, for which you have to use something called as Tableau and all that, right? So your knowledge in that subject, along with some of these visualization tools, Tally is a great example, right? So you have to have those knowledge. So today I can read a financial statement of 4 years. I can predict the financial statement of next year by using this data. That's a great skill that you can. That skill will not be taught in the college. So look at it from individually, right? So if I have to be the best financial professional, what are the 10 things that you should learn? What are 3 or 4 things that are being taught by my college? The 7 things will come from that mentorship manner you spoke about. If CFO is your mentor, okay? He will tell you, he or she will tell you what all mistakes that person has done, so that you don't commit the same mistake. So have mentors. So the last, before we, thank you.
Now we have Nandan from 1st sem PGDM.
So this is Nandan. Like my question is basically my degree is from BSc on agriculture. Like AI has any impact on agriculture sector? Like agriculture is generally like what we feel and what we touch or like that. But any AI will impact on the agriculture sector as many apps came regarding that AI and all plant based example.
So next big economy should come from rural tech is what Narendra Modi says. You know that, right? So there are robots. I'm not very sure. I don't know whether it is Nagpur or Shimla. There are robots who are plucking all of these oranges or apples, right? Based on the land, there are these robots or using geo. They are telling what kind of crop should be there, right? One of my friend who was working with Microsoft for 18 years, he's left the job and he's doing cultivation of mirchi, this thing. Now the famous Guntur mirchi, what we hear is nothing but this guy is actually making it, right? So I am seeing a lot of people from this sector going into that sector, but then they're using technology and all that stuff. So there is a lot of potential in this. But then your roots have to be very, very strong. You can be a rural entrepreneur. Instead of you getting into a job, you can actually employ some 10,000 people. Think about it.
Sir, we have another couple of questions. I would kindly request you to take the last 2 questions. Yes, that's right. Yes, only the last 2 questions.
So, we have a couple of questions for you actually regarding AI. So, what I request, sir, so we'll have a discussion in the boardroom so that if you, all students can want to ask a question, so that participants, so I request to go for lunch right now. So, it is almost 1:30, I know it's 1:30, it is a time for lunch. So, now I'm feeling also, now I'm starving actually to have a food. So, let us join for the lunch night, is already in 3rd floor. The volunteers, kindly guide to guest towards the 3rd floor. We'll have a lunch. And so I request.
During lunch time, what will
We don't want to disturb you during your lunch.
Yes.
So the event was very well organized, right from the registration and the panel discussion and the hospitality. The staff coordinated really well, very informative session, and of course it gave us a good opportunity for us to connect with the HR fraternity too. So thanks Nitte for organizing this event. Look forward to events in future as well. Thank you and all the best.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Srikanth. I'm from NMIT, heading the Department of MCA. So it was really wonderful event organized by Nitte School of Management. I really enjoyed with my whole team of students today. They were here and they have interacted with all the panel members here, and it was a very well organized event and very good effort from an SOM students. Really great, hospitality was good. So overall, we really enjoyed this event. Thank you.
Okay, rolling.
Hi, this is Sharadi from HR Conclave, and I felt very good visiting Nitte University because I found all students and then the staff are very supportive, and I loved their hospitality, and even HR discussion topics were very interesting, and the whole arrangement was very nice, and I really want to visit once again. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Shiv Prasad Kamalimat. I am professional faculty. I work with NMIT, and thank you NMIT for inviting me to this event. I think it's a great event to have such things in an academic setup. Seen that in corporate, but academic setup is very different. And excellent panel speakers and a great coordination from all the students. I think it worked well actually. See a great coordination between student, faculty, and also the great HR professionals here. I would love to actually see this happening again and again in this great issue. And again, SYM. Thanks.